All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are all doing well. Sorry I couldn't do the watch along yesterday. Just wasn't feeling well, but I'm here back again, doing all right now. So we are going to discuss this particular match, interesting match that took place. So we'll talk about all of that, and beyond the match as well, we'll talk about where are we, where things are moving, and are we at times overreacting? Are we at times maybe too easygoing? We're going to look into all of this, so don't you worry. I'm going to try and connect as much as I can with each and every one of you guys with your comments. Shubra Miz is back. Yeah, I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't feeling well last night, so I couldn't muster the energy to do a whole watch along. Obviously, woke up, felt a lot better, and then watched the entire match and thought, we've got to do a live. We've got to do a live and talk about all of this stuff. Valan, good to see you, Miz. We've got to talk about Cover being in his aunties. Yeah. What was all of that? I saw the footage on Instagram. Why did he take all his clothes? Yeah, quite bizarre, but it is what it is. Hope you guys are all doing well. Don't worry, next watch along definitely will be here. Hopefully everything, as long as we're fit and healthy, we will be here. So yeah, look, I actually made quite a lot of notes. Do you know what the beauty of watching it later on is? You can actually, watching it live, obviously you can express your feelings, you can express your reactions, and you're much more, I suppose, it's vibes, isn't it? It's all about vibes when you're watching it live. But when you watch it after, knowing the score already, you're more analytical, you're more looking at everything. So I actually wrote down quite a lot of things. Look, first up, I want to talk about obviously the lineup, which is looking at this setup. Let's just bring this up. This is how we set up, ladies and gentlemen. Kepa in goalkeeping position, Cucurella, Silva, Chalobah, Chilwell, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Azpilicueta, Sterling, Aubameyang, Mount. Now, we've seen this sort of lineup from Graham Potter previously as well, and especially this sort of that left side, the Cucurella and Chilwell, at times doesn't really work out, and then we know what sort of game we're going to get if we keep using Azpilicueta on a regular basis. And as you can see, there's weakness here, right? There's weakness in here, Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Jorginho. I, in my preview, had Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic. But look, nonetheless, you think, okay, do you know what? Maybe we can do something. Maybe something is possible. And look, all of this time, we've been fine, right? Like, Graham Potter still hasn't lost a match whilst being the Chelsea manager. And we've been saying the notion that whatever Graham Potter does at the moment, we trust him. He's done well. But I have to say, past couple of games, including, let's say, Aston Villa, actually past 3 games, Aston Villa, Brentford, and now Man United. Would you guys agree, live chat, would you guys agree, did he actually get it right the first half an hour or so? Aston Villa, what happened in Aston Villa? Something really drastic happened. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cucurella was taken off half-time at Aston Villa because that Cucurella and Chilwell side was getting decimated. But not just only Cucurella and Chilwell side, it was also the right-hand side where there's no Reece James anymore. I think it was Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and also at times might have been Azpilicueta. Who started? Let me just have a look. Because the Aston Villa game, that side was not looking, both the flanks weren't looking good. Let me just have a quick look at this. Give me 1 second. Similar thing happened in this game as well. Let me just bring this up. Yeah, Aston Villa and Chelsea. Let's look at this lineup as well, because oh yeah, okay, that one had Sterling in the wingback position, and then we were messed up over there. I remember we got so messed up, we had to push Ruben Loftus-Cheek on that side, and Sterling had to be tucked in. And then I remember we bringing in Mason Mount into the middle, And then halftime, we took off Cucurella. And I think Jorginho came on at halftime, I'm pretty sure. Let me just have a look at this. What was the timeline? Armando Broja, Raheem Sterling. What else happened here? Yeah, Jorginho in, Kovacic out. What happened in halftime? Something happened in halftime, right? Oh, yeah, Azpilicueta came in. Azpilicueta came in and Ruben Loftus-Cheek went back into the middle. So, look, basically, the point that I'm trying to drive here is that Graham Potter, Aston Villa probably didn't get it right. And Aston Villa deserved the win, to be honest. How he squeezed out a victory in that match, I've got no idea. Graham Potter against Brentford as well. If Conor Gallagher wasn't feeling sick and wasn't taken off and Kovacic brought back in, I don't know if we would have got back the control of that match as much as we did against Brentford. But then again, Brentford probably had the better chances. So once again, against Brentford, I'm not sure whether we probably at the end deserved 0-0, but it could have gone Brentford's way. And against this one, against Man United as well, ladies and gentlemen, similar thing. It was two different games, to be honest. The first 35 minutes up until Kovacic came on, and before that, so after Kovacic and before Kovacic, so first 35 minutes, we were getting decimated in both our wings. It was too easy for Anthony and Diego Dalot to make the runs. And it was too easy on the left side for Man United, which is our right side, for Man United to penetrate us on that side. And this is where I want to start talking about. Let me just bring this up. Graham Potter has got to quickly realize where the weakness is. In this match, the setup was Jorginho and Azpilicueta on the right side. That, for me, that is detrimental. You've got one particular player, Aspi. Okay, fine. He'll give you a decent enough performance, but it's not good enough. Like, have a look at that match against Man United. Aspi's pace, lack of pace. Aspi's, at times, the awareness. His crossing is not good. His passing. Our build-up on that right side for Aspi, every time the ball goes there and he gets pressured a bit, our build-up breaks open. And then very immediately, it gets turned over and Manchester United or whoever else will then apply the pressure on us. Especially when you want to include Jorginho and Aspi on that right side. I don't know. I think maybe this might have been a better shout. Maybe Ruben Loftus-Cheek on that side to cover for Aspi every now and then Chalobah as well is there. There were so many times Chalobah was 1v2. And shout out to Chalobah, man. Chalobah had a very good game. Grew into the game. The first 35 minutes, no one was playing good. But then again, I don't actually blame the players. I actually blame Graham Potter in that instance for getting it wrong, and he eventually corrected it. He was proactive enough to correct it. And as soon as Kova came on, it was a slightly different game. Not as crazy because Man United still had opportunities, but it was a slightly different game. I still think this side as well has a bit of issue, ladies and gentlemen. Cucurella, as much as we've been deploying him as a LCB, he's so out of form at the moment. He is extremely out of form. And Chilwell's lack of pace as well, man. He's just not at the moment quick to think. He's not at the moment quick to recover. Anthony was having too much joy on that left side, on our left side, their right side. So I don't know, man. Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter really needs to start getting a grip of this thing, ladies and gentlemen, because look, and I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. Ever since Reece James has been injured, our struggles have started again. Ever since Reece James has been gone, Aston Villa game, Brentford game, and the Man United game now. That right side without Reece James, man, you know the domino effect, ladies and gentlemen. When you flick a domino and how it just trickles onto everyone else. Now you might think, Miz, surely one guy being out cannot have a detrimental effect on the entire team. It's mad. Everyone else should still do their part, but it's not the case. It's a domino effect. When you flick a domino and it trickles down and it knocks everyone out, that's exactly what's happening here. Without Reece James on that right side, and by putting Aspilicueta there, you're already creating a domino effect. Aspi is not as quick as Reece James. Aspi defensively is not as astute, and attacking wise is not that great as Reece James. And then what happens is you need people to cover. And then if you have Jorginho as your cover, then you're in more trouble because Jorginho is not mobile enough. If he gets pressed, he'll get the ball taken off him. And if he gets counter-attacked, he's not going to be able to recover. And then when Jorginho is not doing well, then you need another midfielder to come and cover for them. So as you see, all of this trickle effect, cover for this guy, cover for that guy, cover for... It creates a mess. It really does create a mess. So look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm somewhat worried now moving into the next match against Salzburg. We're in a very fine position in the Champions League. And we were flying, 2 wins against AC Milan, a win against Wolves, win against Aston Villa as well. Before that, win against Crystal Palace. We were in a bit of a momentum. We were winning ugly as well with Aston Villa. But as soon as, things start to go south a little bit for us, we're now in a bit of a lull. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though we won against Aston Villa, I don't know if we deserved it. That match against Brentford, not good as well. Okay, fine. We got out of it with a draw. Some may even say, "Oh, Miz, that was a good draw." Do you know what I mean? At Brentford, tough place to go. We've not played well against them. Let's take the draw. But this game at home, man, like I feel like we need to. This is why I said in my preview, we've got to go at them, man. We've got to go at them. The other factor that I want to talk about, before we do that, Himanshu, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Miz, I told people about Sterling. He's a good player at very best, very inconsistent and limited. Our fans overhyped him, and that's why I never rated him highly. We'll get to Sterling, man. We'll get to Sterling. I don't know whether... I'm not going to sit here and say Sterling's a bad player, but I will definitely say he is not in form. For the past 4 or 5 games, he's not been playing good, and we will get to Sterling. But I also tend to think Sterling... If you guys remember when we first bought him, if we don't add more quality in our team, in the attack, Sterling's going to start falling into our trap. Look, take away Sterling and that performance is just like last season's performance. Let's not sit here and blame Sterling for everything or part of the things. I think Sterling is probably an issue of the manifestation of the lack of attacking prowess that we have. So don't forget, Sterling was surrounded by ballers in Man City. Sterling ain't surrounded by ballers in Chelsea Football Club. So, but of course, I don't think Sterling has been good. So we'll talk about that down the track. The one thing that I got out of that game, ladies and gentlemen, from a Man United perspective, and something that maybe we as a club need to think about. Over 110 people live right now. Smash the like button. Let's get those likes up to well over 100. Only 20 likes at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Bump up the likes. Mods, push the likes if you can as well. Get those likes up to well over 100, and that will be much appreciated. If you're here for the first time as well, subscribe. The one thing that I do want to talk about, Casemiro for Man United. The way Casemiro stays as a lone DM and allows for Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, or whoever else, Fred, when Fred came on in the second half, I'm starting to think that's the level of, like a holding midfielder that we need. That's the level of holding midfielder. I mean, as much as I love the fact, as soon as Kovacic came on and it was all our control, like not all, but we gained some form of control. Look, there's no secret that Kovacic is probably one of the most important components in our midfield, right? Kovacic, Jorginho works. Kovacic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek works. Kovacic in a midfield 3 definitely works. We get full control of the opposition midfield, nearly full control. But when you don't have Kovacic and you just have Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek or Jorginho, whoever else, it can start look like it can be very funny. It can start looking very, very funny. So going back to the Casemiro point. Have a look at the way Casemiro manages that midfield, allows for Fred, Bruno Fernandes, Eriksen, whoever is on, to be further up, to be more in the attacking side. And the thing about Casemiro is he's so mobile. He doesn't do anything complicated. He literally just minds a particular zone. He looks after a zone. Do you know what I mean? He just goes side to side. Wherever the ball is being played, he moves into that position and he ensures that there is cover for his defense. Do you know what I mean? If the ball is on the right side, he'll move on to the right side and he'll cover that zone. If the ball's on the left side, he'll cover the left zone. And with the ball, it's very simple from Casemiro. Gets the ball, quickly releases off to either Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes. When Fred comes on, Fred. Very, very simple. Nothing complicated. And I'm thinking, this is probably the level of midfielder that we probably need right now, man, which just allows our midfielders to be more advanced. Far too many times we're too deep, man. We are too deep, boxed in at times. At home, that first 35 minutes, I don't know if that's acceptable, man. I don't know if that's acceptable. Do you know what I mean? We played with a back three, and I was saying it in the preview that maybe play a back four, but the four can easily be a three anyway. Do you know what I mean? The four can, if Cucurella bombs up, then Aspie can tuck in and create a back three. And if Aspie goes up, then Cucurella can tuck in, or Chilwell, whoever, can tuck in and create a back three. We should be playing with an extra man in midfield or in attack. We shouldn't be so passive, man. I don't know why we showed so much respect. Some people are saying, Miz, talk about Sterling. We'll get to Sterling. Don't worry. We'll slowly move up to Sterling. Don't you worry. I'm more talking about from back, more talking about what happened in the match, the first half, the change when Kovacic came on. We'll talk about everyone. Don't you worry. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat. Miz, we all know our next CDM is going to be, look, maybe it is a good shout, man. Like, I know I've been talking down on this particular player, but lately I'm trying to sort of change things around. Maybe it is time for Declan Rice, a player like Declan Rice. I'm not even kidding anymore. Just do the simple thing, man. Do what John Obi Mikel used to do. Just do the basics. Cover for the two at the back, and just play the simple passes to more of the attacking midfielders. Back then we used to have Lampard, we used to have Ballack, Ramirez, Essien, whoever else was in midfield. Do you know what I mean? Right now, we just need that type of a midfielder that can just do that. Do you know what I mean? That can just keep things simple. And I don't know, with this three at the back, man, we sacrifice one attacker, and I'm not really sure whether we should do that. Okay, so that's a little bit about the midfield area. Obviously, Potter needs to get it right from the get-go. Yes, it's great that he's proactive and he's changing it, but we need to get things right straight away. I want to talk about now Sterling, right? You guys have been asking for Sterling. I want to know why Christian Pulisic doesn't get a start, man. I mean, I would have still been able to play even... Okay, let's bring this up, right? Even if we want to include Sterling, let's say we want to include Sterling, I don't understand why Christian Pulisic can't play. Do you know what I mean? Like, play a back four. And in fact, a back four at the end ended up working nicely. I said in my preview, let's play with a 4-2-3-1. Let's play with a 4-2-3-1. So instead of Chilwell, if we had Pulisic, and let's say, for instance, Cucurella, we'll just keep Chilwell in the background anyway. I don't understand why we can't play this formation, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, live chat, 150 of you guys are live right now. Tell me, when did Chelsea Football Club become incapable of playing a back four? A Silva, Chalobah, Aspie, Cucurella. It's all about a structure. It's all about... I fail to believe that we don't have the players to play a back four. I honestly fail to believe. It's all about creating a structure. It's all about creating a system. We should be at home able to play with another attacking player. Pulisic, honestly, I'm actually feeling sad for this guy now. Like you know how critical I've been about Pulisic, but I think there is a proper case for Christian Pulisic to start. And on top of that, Graham Potter in Brighton, as you guys remember, yes, he did favor the back three, right? He did favor the back three, but he played with wingers as his wing backs. What happened to that? What happened to that? He played with wingers. He would generally play this formation, right? There would generally be wingers. You'd have Solimarsh here. And you would have Trossard here. Now, tell me how Graham Potter is able to play with Trossard and Solimarsh in Brighton, but he doesn't feel confident to play with wingers in the way he played in Brighton. Like, honestly, I want to know, and then we'll talk about Sterling very, very soon. Live chat, let me know. Let me know what is stopping him. Look, okay, fine. We don't have Reece James now. Maybe, okay, instead of in that marsh area, fine. Use Aspie. Use Aspie. Okay, use Aspie. But why not have a Trossard type? Why not have a Pulisic here? Why not have that? Why not have that? You know what I mean? Have Mount. And the other factor we're going to get to Mount very, very soon as well. I don't like Mount being here. I don't like Mount that first half was playing wide, left. When recently all the success he's been getting is from the middle. Why is Mount playing wide? He's not a winger. Play him here. This is where he's found his recent success. Do you remember the pass to Aubameyang to AC Milan? The pass to Pulisic when he squeezed a pass through here? Mount in the middle is far more effective. I don't know why all of a sudden we think that Mount needs to go wide. But we'll get to all of that very, very soon. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat. Potter wants to give him time to write his book. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let's see what else you guys are saying. For F's sake, Kovacic is injured. He was thrown because of Man U domination. Yeah, look, Graham Potter said post-match that one of the reasons why he can't get Kovacic to start is because he's carrying some sort of a knee problem. This guy's playing on with a knee issue. I'm worried if this is going to turn out to be something detrimental and possibly it becomes a long-term injury. He's got the World Cup. Don't be surprised if he comes up, like if he's fine for the World Cup, like up until World Cup and then fine at the end of the World Cup. Don't be surprised if after the World Cup he goes on and has this injury or surgery, a knee surgery, and then he's out for the rest of the season. We definitely need help in January, man. 2 positions minimum. Right back, full back, whatever you want to call it, full back, wing back. We need someone. Because we cannot continue just like that for Aspie. Aspie is okay for one game. If it's just one game a week, fine. To be able to play twice, Aspie is going to quite potentially play against Salzburg as well. Aspie was so out of it in that game against Man United, man. So many missed time passes, so many missed time crosses, and the amount of time players were just going past him as well. Yeah, there were a couple of times where he won the duels. Yeah, there were a couple of times where he, pressed and he won the ball. Yes, but overall, this is not a solution, man. This is not a solution. So, two players massively needed for January. While we're not using Zakaria for F's sake, look, I don't know, man. I don't know. For me, this guy is some sort of a Fugazi player, man. Like, I don't know why we got him. And we've got him, and we can't even use him, which is a shame. We have Zakaria Miz joking. The Pulisic, Oba, Havertz, Mount. Try Pulisic, Oba, Havertz, Mount. Okay, let's now talk about Sterling. Sterling is just a Rashford Pro Max, and Rashford is shite. Okay. First of all, I don't know what has happened with Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling, there were a couple of chances that he had throughout that match, but his touch has let him down. He doesn't seem to be confident to take his players on 1v1. His passing seems astray. like everything. He gets dispossessed. But more specifically, it's his first touch. His first touch on a regular basis lately has been letting him down. Now, look, I know what Raheem Sterling is capable of, what he did initially, and I know what he did for Man City. And I said this when we bought Raheem Sterling, that I'm worried if we don't add more quality in our team. And now that Raheem Sterling is having to play with not the greatest wingbacks for support, let's be honest, Chilwell is not up to his mark. And Azpilicueta is definitely not up to his mark. And our midfield seems to be clueless at times until Kovacic comes on. I said this, if we don't have the other parts of the team well enough, well equipped, you're going to start seeing Raheem Sterling's match performances down as well. I don't think this is completely on Raheem Sterling. I think, as I said, it's a domino effect, ladies and gentlemen. It's a domino effect. Sterling is not like the Havertz situation. Do you know what I mean? Havertz, we know Kai Havertz was poor last season as well. Kai Havertz has been poor the entire season. Sterling has only been poor for the past 4 or 5 games. And even then, against Wolves, he got himself an assist for Reece James. In Sterling's case, I honestly believe the players around him are not being good enough, man. Are not being good enough. But I'm not taking anything away from Sterling's individual performances. Sterling individually should still be able to have good passes. Do you know what I mean? Sterling individually should still be able to have proper first touches. Sterling individually still should be able to score goals inside the box. But I still think Sterling needs the supporting. And this is why I've been saying, why aren't we having more attackers? Why aren't we? Let's just move this back to a 4. And you get something like this. Up up front, Pulisic, Mount, and Sterling. Why can't we play this? I guarantee you, if we play with more attacking players, we are going to get more out of Aubameyang and we're going to get more out of Sterling. I guarantee you. Our game is going to be far more in the opposition final third as opposed to our final third. Yes, of course, the midfield matters as well. The midfield matters. The more we can play Kovacic, but it's hard. It's hard. Kovac can't play every single game. It's very difficult. Are we at a situation, ladies and gentlemen, could we perhaps, and hear me out before you go crazy live chat, over 170 live right now. Hear me out. And I want to hear from each and every one of you guys in the live chat, right? I want to see what you guys have to say about this. Just the way Casemiro is the lone DM, could we potentially have Ruben Loftus-Cheek as the lone DM? Could we potentially do that? Could we have a situation where Ruben Loftus-Cheek emulates the kind of game Casemiro does? Look, Ruben Loftus-Cheek doesn't add any goals, doesn't add any assists, and we're still okay with that. Ruben, with his game, it's not like in midfield, he's adding goals and assists. Let's be honest, he's not doing that. Can we not use him, what Casemiro does? Can he not recondition himself? Can he not rediscover himself as a sitting midfielder? Just do the simple things. He's good with his ball playing ability. Can we not? I mean, how much difference is Ruben Loftus-Cheek making now by playing in this role, say in a double pivot? Jorginho is here, Ruben Loftus-Cheek is here. What huge difference would it be if Ruben Loftus-Cheek played at the base and we played with not Jorginho, someone else, Kova, or if we can't play Kova all the time, Gallagher, and just allow for these two players to really bomb up, and then don't get Aspie to bomb up too much. Let Aspie be inverted. Let the fullbacks be inverted. And let these guys just ball out. Why can't we go five in defense here and 5 in offense here? Why can't we do that? Let me know. Why can't we do that? He's held to the note to that idea. Why, brother? Ngoni, why? Why are you worried about this? Why would you be worried? What is so worried? What is Ruben Loftus-Cheek incapable of doing in that position that, for example, a Jorginho does? Can someone tell me that? If we just have a system where Cucurella and Aspi are part of the midfield, Silva and Chalobah, isn't this sometimes what Pep does as well? Remember, Pep, not now, obviously now with Cancelo, he bombs up, but there was a time where Pep had inverted fullbacks that were more inverted. Have Sterling out wide, have Pulisic out wide, Mount and cover, or Gallagher. I'm just putting an idea out there. Look, we may not do this, but I'm just saying for the time being. I know some of you guys are saying, what about Zakaria in that position? But a lot of people are saying to me that Zakaria is not really a sitter. Zakaria is a number 8. Miz, then why we bought Sterling if we knew we weren't going to add quality around him? We should have got someone who can do things on his own. Even if, see, this is the thing, man. It's not just about bringing one, man. We needed to bring in at least another 2. At least one more. Let's just say we didn't bring Sterling and we brought in Rafael Leao. Even Leao would be struggling, man. It's not just about having one. Whoever one you brought in would still struggle. It's about adding at least another one, minimum another one, on top of that. And it's not like Sterling hasn't done it by himself. Himanshu, think about the previous games, man. Don't just think about the last 4 or 5 games. Think about initially as well. Look at it from a larger perspective. Look at the first few games, how critical Sterling was. It's not just about the last 4. Do you know what I mean? So very, very important. Next thing that I want to talk about, quite a few things that I actually jotted down, man. Obviously, we talked about Aspi. We talked about the left side, Cucurella, Chilwell side. Look, there's issues on that side as well, man. Honestly, I would start thinking about ditching this 4. I know recently I said, how do we play without Reece James? How do we play a back 4? I think we're going to have to. We may have to. This Chilwell and Cucurella, I'm not really... I don't know. I'm not feeling it, man. It's too much of the same thing. Let's go with a back 4. Let's either play Chilwell or Cucurella as a left back, and let's have that attacking player, man. Let's have that attacking player. Both Chilwell and Cucurella, especially Cucurella. Like at least with Chilwell, there's some excuse that he's had that injury, but Cucurella is not on form at the moment, which isn't looking good at all. Next thing that I want to talk about is, ladies and gentlemen, Kepa. A lot of people are saying, a lot of people are actually blaming Kepa after that game, which I found so strange, honestly. How we are blaming Kepa off the back of that match. Kepa, that first 35 minutes, the first half, Rashford had a chance. I think there was a chance from Anthony as well. There was a long range from other people as well. But Rashford definitely had a chance. If it wasn't for Kepa, we probably should have been at least 1-0 down. Man United definitely deserved 1 goal in that first half, if not 2. Man United definitely deserved at least 1 goal. Kepa kept us in, not just his keeping-wise, but in the second half, there were times where, because of Kepa, our defense was able to push forward, right? And then there was the sweeper-keeper situation came in. There was a long ball that fell in between the defense and Kepa. Kepa came out and he cleared it. Now, some people are saying, bring back Mendy, bring back Mendy. Look, I've got no issues, man. I've got no issues, but hear me out. You may blame Kepa for that goal, which is so crazy. Kepa almost saved that goal from Casemiro. Almost saved it as well, right? It just crossed the line by this much. He almost had that. And if anything, we should be blaming how's our defenders not being able to... literally the last 1 minute or 2 minutes of the game, how are we defending that situation? Why are we leaving it for the goalkeeper to negate. How can we, in the last couple of minutes, allow for a free header for Casemiro like that? I think that's where the conversation needs to be. Why were we so deep? Why didn't we rush out and try and stop that cross as well? Why did we fall so deep as soon as we scored? We invited the pressure. Anyway, Casemiro gets that header. Kepa almost saved it. Now, let's forget about the save. Mendy, and as I said, I don't mind if Mendy comes in. I've got no issues if Mendy comes in. But is Mendy as confident as Kepa with the sweeper-keeper stuff? Is Mendy as confident as Kepa when we want to build up from the back? There were a couple of times there was nice balls from Kepa. Yes, there were a couple of times as well the pass from Kepa didn't reach the person up front. But bringing in Mendy, is our build-up is he going to be confident? Will he be confident? He might do all the shot stopping that Kepa's doing right now. All the shots that Kepa's saving right now, Mendy might 100% stop all of that. Mendy probably might have even got that header from Casemiro. Who knows? But we've seen Mendy get beaten like that as well. It's not like, oh, Mendy's never been beaten like that. We've seen Mendy get beaten by headers. We've seen that. Kepa, in the last few matches, has literally won us points. Aston Villa, Kepa won us points. Yes, Mason Mount got the goals, and his individual performance was fantastic as well. And to be honest, in this game against Man United, I don't think Mount was that bad either. I think Mount was okay. There were a few times, a couple of things Mount did led to a very dangerous situation for us, but we just couldn't do anything. But, Kepa definitely kept us in the game against Aston Villa. Kepa definitely kept us in the game against Brentford. And most parts, he kept us in the game against Man United. The question should be, why is Kepa getting penetrated so much? Why are we now 3 back-to-back matches where Kepa is being called on so regularly? Our goalkeeper should not be called on so regularly. Our goalkeeper should be just called on here and there. We should be solid. We should have control. We should dominate the opposition. Okay, fine, it's Man United. Maybe it can be 50-50. But how are we getting dominated by Brentford? How are we getting dominated by Aston Villa? How? Why should Kepa be peppered by shots after shots after shots? Why? That's the question that we need to ask. We shouldn't be sitting here and thinking, oh no, but that's the goalkeeper's job. He should be doing that. Valan, thank you so much for the super chat. Miz, who do you buy in Jan for RB and CDM? Look, my man, I don't know. This is where hopefully all these scouts that, the HR, head of HR, the, director of recruitment, all the people that we've got in, I hope they know what they're doing. I really do. I don't know. Carl Walker-Peters, that's probably a name that comes into my mind. Can we get him? Do you know what I mean? Midfielder? I don't know. Can we break the bank for Declan Rice? I don't know. Some people say Edson Alvarez. I'm not entirely sure about that, brother. Sorry, Ms. Kepa ability to pass isn't enough to put him over Mendy. Okay, easy money, Sniper. I hope you're still in the live chat. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got over 170 people live right now. Smash the like button. Easy money, Sniper. I want to ask you, okay, his passing ability isn't enough to put him over Mendy. But right now, his shot-stopping ability, Kepa's shot-stopping ability, is it inferior to Mendy still? Right now, I'm talking about in this form. Is Mendy's shot stopping so much superior to Kepa at this moment? I don't think so. I think it's even. Right now, Kepa and Mendy, from a shot stopping point of view, are quite even. You may disagree, but I don't think it's like night and day difference at the moment. Mendy, don't forget, easy money, Sniper. Mendy was a shambles, man. Mendy was just leaking goals left, right, and center. Every time we passed it backwards, Who was it against earlier this year? Earlier this year, who was it against? Was it Leeds? Was it not Leeds? Do we remember last season, the countless times that he stuffed up at the back? Mendy was shambolic, man. He was not confident. Mendy's ball playing was stuffing us up. Do you remember Real Madrid last season? Do you remember Real Madrid? Mendy's pass. Supposed pass to Rudiger. And then it was stolen. Mendy against West Ham. Mendy against Everton. How he comes out, tries to be a sweeper keeper, and he takes out was it Dominic Calvert-Lewin? That was, I think, Frank Lampard's first season, when Frank Lampard got sacked, I think. Mendy is not confident, man. You want Mendy to be a sweeper keeper. People get too stuck up about Kepa, and they have this thing in the back of their head that, you know, because Kepa stuffed up so much that particular season under Frank Lampard, they can't seem to erase that off their head. Kepa's got other good qualities in him that is so important to the way Potter plays. Potter needs his defense to be further up at times. What are you going to do when a ball goes over the defense and Mendy has to come out and do a sweeper keeper job? Are you confident, Sniper? Easy money Sniper. Are you confident for Mendy to be a sweeper keeper? Or do you not want that to happen? Do you want the defense to be back? You've got to look at other attributes as well, my man. We can't just have our eyes closed and just blindly, be okay with Mendy. It's not the case. Why was Mendy able to keep Kepa out of the first keeper for so long then, Miz? Because Kepa was poor shot stopping at the moment, man. His confidence was low. Not just even shot stopping, his ball playing was also poor. President Zafar, are you seriously sitting here and saying let's bring back Mendy and that will solve all our issues? Is that what we're saying? The conversation is about, was that Kepa's fault? No, it was not Kepa's fault, that goal. Are you actually saying, President Zafar, make the change, bring Mendy back in, and boom, it's all good. It's all good. Everything is, we will never concede ever again. We haven't been conceding anyway. That was our first goal in 5 games. Do you know what I mean? We need to think a little bit more logically, man. We can't just drop the guy. Means that guy came in and saved us many more times than Kepa. We can't abandon the man when he drops out of a couple of games. It's not about abandoning. It's not about abandoning easy money. It's about accepting the merit at the moment. You're bringing back Mendy because in your mind, easy money, Mendy is the number 1 goalkeeper for Chelsea Football Club. Regardless of what he's done, he's the number 1 goalkeeper. He doesn't deserve any competition. No competition for Mendy. Mendy comes back. You're thinking more from an authoritative sort of point of view. I'm more thinking from a competition point of view. Right now, Kepa's Chelsea number 1, man. I'm sorry. Right now. Unless we start seeing some absolute howlers from Kepa again, I don't see how Mendy perhaps plays in the City game. I think it will be absolutely disheartening and it will create a bad environment if we were to drop a player that is probably one of our better players right now. Dropping Kepa now and reinstating back Mendy, that's giving a wrong information. What more can Kepa do to cement his position? It's much like the Chalobah situation. Let's talk a little bit about Chalobah. Kepa was good. We can't flip-flopping the goalkeeper and upsetting the confidence of the defenders. Exactly. Not just the confidence of the defenders. I think also the confidence of the team overall. How's a teammate meant to feel when Kepa has been doing so well and they see him get knocked out and then Mendy comes straight back in? Kepa's had to wait. Kepa never complained. Kepa waited. Kepa waited for his chance. And then he got his chance. He absolutely cemented it. Now, you can sit there and go, are any of them good enough? Is Kepa, Mendy, both, are they at all good enough? That's a different debate. Some of you guys are saying in the live chat, maybe we need to go and get ourselves a new goalkeeper. Okay, that's a separate. But I don't think getting a new goalkeeper is paramount right now. I think paramount right now is a fullback, right-sided fullback, and a midfielder, minimum, and also maybe an attacker. But that's probably a summer thing. But in the January, if we can get ourselves a fullback and a midfielder, very much needed. Now, going into the Chalobah situation as well now. How good has Chalobah been? Chalobah, in that game against Man United, probably our standout player. In the first half, everyone was dodgy. But as soon as Cover came on, things slowly started to change around. In the second half, Chalobah, the way he defended in a back two. And this is why I say, why not continue with a back two? Have Chalobah and Koulibaly or Silva. Chalobah, Koulibaly or Silva. Have the two. And then try do your best with Aspie and Cucurella, Chilwell, whoever. Do you know what I mean? Chalobah. The reason why I want to talk about Chalobah, look how well Chalobah has been doing. Are you going to say to those people that were complaining about bringing Mendy in, as soon as Wesley Fofana is fit, do you want Fofana to come back in straight away and take Chalobah's position? Chalobah has had to wait. He's had to wait. He was on the verge of leaving. He was getting sold. I never liked that one bit. And now Chalobah is turning out to be probably one of the standout players in the Chelsea Football Club right now. As soon as Fofana gets fit, do you just throw Chalobah, grab him by the collars and just throw him? Is that what you want to do? Do you not think Fofana needs to earn his spot back? That's the same case with Kepa. Kepa has done nothing wrong. In fact, he's done everything right. Kepa, Chalobah, these are probably our better players at the moment. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, look, I want to wrap things up now. 200 of you guys are here. Smash the like button. We haven't even reached 100 likes yet. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to 100 likes. 66 likes so far. Let's get to 100. That's about, what, 34 likes, ladies and gentlemen. 34 likes, we get to 100. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. I just want to end with saying, look, at least we still got away with a draw. Whether we... And you know what? As per Graham Potter said, we probably just deserved a draw in that particular match. I don't think we deserved a win. Man United probably at the end deserved an equaliser. But of course it hurts. It hurts. How we didn't see that through, that would have been the greatest way to, I suppose, celebrate a shithousery. Do you know what I mean? Like, to not be playing well and get a victory. And I think this is what we need to focus on, ladies and gentlemen. Since Reece James has been injured, we've not been playing well. But we've been able to get a victory against Aston Villa. We've managed a draw against Brentford. We've managed a draw against Man United. And we are still a work in progress under Graham Potter. Graham Potter's still learning as well. But Graham Potter, last few matches, he's having to make changes immediately within the first half or at halftime, which makes me think he's obviously getting things wrong, but he's trying to rectify it. I just hope that he gets it right from the get-go. Against Salzburg, we need to come back in again, man. We need to beat Salzburg, ensure we come first. No more dilly-dallying. Beat Salzburg, come first in the group. Let's look at the next fixture after that. And yeah, at least the positive is we didn't lose. We probably should have lost against Brentford. We probably should have lost against maybe if Man United was clinical, we probably should have lost against Man United. We need to hopefully players like Pulisic gets a bit more opportunity. Armando Broja again off the bench has done given us a bit of impetus. Aubameyang needs another attacker, man. These three at the back with Aspie and Chilwell being the fullbacks, it's detrimental for Aubameyang as well. I know there was a very lovely cross from Chilwell to Aubameyang who couldn't control, but Aubameyang needs more attacking players in and around, much like Sterling. We need more. Like we can't be having Cucurella, Silva, Chalobah, Aspie, Chilwell. And then, so these five who don't really, help out with attack, right? And then you include Jorginho, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Kovar, who don't give us assists or goals. See, this is why Reece James's ability on that right side, man, we are missing out big time. Reece James was a goal scorer, an assister, an absolute monster in defense and attacking wise, he was brilliant. So Aubameyang needs help. Sterling needs help. We need to put in players like Christian Pulisic, maybe even have an Armando Broja if we can. But yeah, we have to change things around, ladies and gentlemen. Against Salzburg, we need to change things around. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Only 12 more likes to hit 100. It would be fantastic before we end it. We can hit the 12 likes to get 100 likes. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall be back again later on UK time tonight to do a Chelsea news, wrapping up today's news, and then we'll be back again with the match previews and the reviews and the watch-alongs for the Champions League match. So do look out for that. Until next time, everyone, take care and see ya.